All right, good day, my people. I'm here in Osun State. I'm with Dr. Ayo Eluyemi, a geologist, a lecturer in OAU, Obafemi Awolowo University in Ile-Ife, Osun State. We'll be hearing insights from him about the health beneath us and its impacts in our daily lives. Who is Dr. Eluyemi?
I'm Dr. Eluyemi Adekunle Ayodeji. I'm a geophysicist by discipline. I'm a lecturer here, a researcher at Center for Energy Research and Development, and a consultant in the field of application of geophysical equipment for underground resources, including water abstraction and so on and so forth.
Right, thank you very much, sir. Yeah, there is something going on. August 28th, 2025.
Okay.
There is a publication that was published then, stated that the permits must be, that it is now compulsory for all the borehole drillers. That they must pay for permits. And now there are some people, the CCNC, said no, that is not supposed to be. So I want you to give us more details on this. What really happened on this publication?
Thank you so much. I think to start with, the issue of permit is not new. In Oyo State, permit is ongoing, at least to the best of my knowledge. If a bore has to be drilled, a certain amount, which is to the tune of 40,000 naira, is being charged. And also, to the best of my knowledge, in Osun State, a certain part amount is set aside for drilling permits, and you dare not drill without paying this permit. And this permit is a policy that is just recently introduced by the Osun State government. It has some advantages, and I think it is for the betterment of the indigenous of the state, because today, as I speak with you, we have over 90% of the practitioners are not competent. Quackery activities are enormous in the field, and then the COMEG is the only licensing body that has the power to license a competent a geologist or geophysicist, and a competent geologist is going to give value for money, and then, as I speak with you, you cannot expect a plumber to practice as a medical doctor, even though he inherited some of the knowledge from his father, who happened to be a medical doctor. And policy now is meant to sanitize that the profession of that has to do with abstraction or prospection for groundwater resources by government. So it's going to be a win-win situation. In fact, the advantage is for the populace, because across the state, we have various associations across the state, and for as long as government participates in this, government regulates in the activities, then we have voice to approach the government and request the government to procure equipment, because those equipment are very, very expensive. As I speak with you, over 90% of the drilling company in Nigeria are owned by foreigners, to be specific, the Indians.
On that, you said most of the companies are owned by the foreigners.
Yes, the drilling company.
Okay, why is the government fail to provide water for the public? Because I believe if governments provide the water for the public, at least we won't have the foreigners to come down here.
You are correct. I think it has to be a foundational issue. That is how I see it. Why? Because our environment are nowhere structured. Now we have ancient settlements. If it were to be in overseas, it would have been demolished and an estate would have been constructed over there. Then it would be easy to channel those water. But now we have dispersed settlements. We have you get it. So it is very, very difficult. And of course, I will now put to you that despite the fact we have several state institutions across the Nigeria, why again do we have private institutions across the country? So, I think governments may not be able to solve those problems.
Because of the population? What's the main reason?
It's a technical reason.
We
don't live in estates here.
Okay.
We live, the kind of settlement here the geographers know how to, the terms to use. That is technical. That is the technical reason behind it. There is no land use control.
Okay.
So everybody does whatever he or she likes. I may choose to live in an isolated bush, scatter all over, and you need to run pipes and do a lot of calculations to supply water across. And again, the issue of power is also part of it, because for you to distribute water, you need constant electricity, and of course, it's a major challenge in the country now. That one alone cannot be solved by the state. It's a federal thing. I believe the government, Nigeria, will still get there. It is possible.
Now let's look at the other side now, with the policy that is mandated for all the borehole drillers to pay the 50,000 naira for permit. How do you now see it today? Because what the CCNC now trying to state it is that for the poor people, that it will make things to be more difficult for the poor people. How do you see that?
Well, up to the moment that I'm before you, I still see them as faceless entity, until otherwise proven. Let them come out. Majority of them are not professionals. You see, when you see a set of a bricklayer, impersonating a geologist, because they perceive that there is money in the business, but it is not totally so, because occasionally you might run into a loss, because it's beneath the heart, and the signature that you pick that is prolific might prove otherwise. And if you are not technically sound, because the amount that you expend in drilling a borehole today is at average of 1.5 million naira. It's very, very expensive.
Yes.
So there's need for government to participate. But in the long run, it's going to benefit the masses, because we would, approach the government that, look, there's need for us to deal with this issue in-house. The foreigners, we can remove them, because that rate is very high. You see, a civil servant that will spend 1.5 million naira in borehole construction, in borehole drilling alone, just to drill. There are other accessories that has to put into it. It's on the high side. And why? Because we don't have control on it. The equipment are owned by the Indians, and even the parts, are being imported abroad. So we need to draw the government nearer, and they need to also assist us in return. Then it will be easier for the populace to enjoy the facilities.
So you are now trying to tell us that now the policy is going to benefit the masses.
Sincerely speaking, I tell you, in the long run, because now this is it. If you have to spend about 1.5 million naira in just drilling alone, not installation inclusive, are you getting it? And you are now asked to pay 30,000 naira, to ensure value for money. You see, I think it's tactically sound, except it is otherwise hijacked by political instruments, trying to demonize the government, or turning the perception of the populace against the reigning government of the day. And it should not be political. We have to approach it, from the professional perspective point of view. If it is possible in Ondo State, where they have been able to successfully eradicate the activities of quackery, and also in Oyo State, it is there. You dare not carry out a survey without a stamp of a COMED registered geologist or a geophysicist, you know, it is you are sure that you are almost, at least, if not 100% sure of what is being done, at least 90% sure.
Okay, sir. I think people have learned a lot about the explanation to the masses.
Okay.
Now, from that publication of that CCNC, I read it that they are trying to say maybe how is it going to be the transparency of the permits.
The CCNC. I think they should leave that to the CCNC, let practitioners, because we need to get it right.
Okay.
Are they in politics? They may say pressure group.
Okay. Okay. What
are they pressure group?
CCNC.
Yeah.
What can you say exactly as the body? They are coalition of concerned Nigerian citizens. What can you say particular about that body? Because I believe they are fighting for the rights of the masses.
Yeah, you only fight for the right of the masses when you know, you have the in-depth knowledge of what you are fighting for.
Okay.
You know, I'm very sure that they are not professionals. You know, it is possible they are coalition of some you know, if it is not a quackery organization, because they knew already that for as long as the regulatory aspect of the profession is enshrined, then they are going to be eliminated from the practices, you know. So, or possibly they are from political, they stand as a political weapon.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that is why they're not trying to tackle the Osun State. Now, being this thing, you said the permit is going on in Oyo State,
honestly,
and also in Ondo State.
Honestly,
okay, now, don't you see it as maybe, because I see people may think this thing is just like copyright that you are copying from other states. In that state, the permit will benefit them.
Sincerely, it does, because you see, the government. Okay, now let me tell you. Occasionally, you might have to request for the services of a driller to come to your house, and while the work is ongoing, you just see some set of people, they come to your site and they say they need entitlement. Then you say, what do you? It's because there is no enforcement, there is no regulatory body. But for as long as government is partaking in this activity, then you know the issue of Omonile will totally be out of it. And that is one. Then another one is that the quackery, you know, has to be eliminated completely. For you to practice as a medical doctor, you have to get certified after thorough examination. Even though you inherit the knowledge from your forefather, or you have to pass through appropriate quarters and do it as it's supposed to be done. So also, that is what we are trying to enshrine in this profession now. And that is why I'm very, very happy that the government is introducing it now in Osun State. It ought to have been introduced several years ago. After all, there was a resolution reached in 2013 by the representative of the, what do we call it, from the regional representative across the geopolitical zone, in the midst of Honorable Minister for Water Resources in Kaduna State, Institute of Water Resources, that there has to be a code of conduct. And going forward from there, we have COMEC, and so on and so forth. So it is, we just have to embrace this. We have no option. The amount that are being proposed it is still negotiable. But for as long as we want the progress of our people, then definitely we have no option. Those coalition and all these things, as or is it ulterior motive, or what do they call it? So they are not. Let them come out. How many of them is a geophysicist, a geologist that has related, you know, or water engineer? So let them come out. It is what you know that you can defend. You know, they are saying is a to me, as I stand before you today, I see them as a political instrument and nothing more, nothing else.
Okay. Now, being you an expert
Yes.
in geologists, you know much about the borehole.
Yeah, drilling.
Now, there's sometimes we always heard about it that when you are drilling borehole and it is near each other, it always affects the underground. That sometimes it even affects the building. How true is that?
Well, it depends. You know, when you have two balls very close to each other. Then definitely, you know, there's going to be interference, of course, and because it is possible that the two balls are being sunk to abstract water from the same aquifer. You know, of course, it is possible in that way. Then the other aspect of it is that it affects structure. Really, it doesn't affect structure. If the structure has a good foundation, then you don't expect that, you know, because it's a localized drilling, and it's vertical drilling. It's not what do you call it? You know,
not
horizontal drilling, directional drilling, or whatsoever. It is vertical drilling, so it doesn't affect per se, except that quality material are being used to construct those structures. Then maybe slight vibration, and not really as such. To be honest with you, for as long as you know, a proper material are used for those construction, you have no cause to worry, you know.
Okay.
As far as
now, what can you tell people, maybe your clients, that want to get borehole in their house, that they want to drill borehole? What is the advice? What advice can you give them?
Thank you.
Okay, I want to drill my borehole. What are the things I need to look into?
Okay. Yeah. Thank you very much. I think this is where exactly we are going. Now, I want the indigenous of Osun State to cooperate with the new policy. Is for our own interest. You know, we should all embrace the policy because it serves us better. It's a win-win situation, and of course, it's meant to eradicate quackery activity. And so, at the end of the day, it's going to be value for money. For example, we are spending 30,000 to guide against 1.5 million naira. I think it's not too. I think it's good. It's good, and in the long run, as I speak with you, a time is coming that we have to approach the state government. Look, we want this thing in house. The involvement of foreigners. When you go across the states now, you see Indians on our streets. What are they doing? They have drilling machine here, and they collect the money. Immediately they remit it back into the State Bank of India. Why can't we do it ourselves here? So, and we cannot do it alone. Now, if you want to buy a drilling machine now, you spend nothing less than 400 million naira. That's to take off, let alone of the backup, and so on and so forth. So, we need to embrace this policy. We need to draw the government nearer to us, even though they are the one coming up with it. But we have to support it. It's a good idea, a good policy at the right time. Our neighboring state started long ago, and of course, there are a lot of benefits that they have received from there. So why can't we emulate the same thing? Not only CCNC, AAC also say something about that. Yes.
I don't see the AAC. I only saw the CCNC.
AAC also. So, and AAC is a political party. Yeah. So this is not politics. So that is my own point of view.
All right. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
I hope you, my listeners, you can listen to what Dr. Ayo Eluyemi have said about the draining of the borehole, the good, the bad side. In Osun State, we are right in Osun State here about the drilling. He is very expert in it, and he's trying to tell us what we're supposed to do and what is going on. Please try to cooperate with the Osun State government. If you have any information for me, or you want to ask any question, or you want to call me for your interview, call me on 08060221669. I pick it again, 08060221669. Don't forget to share, to like, and drop your comments. I am Mary Omotayo. Bye for now.